If you're not watching The Polygamist, then what are you doing with your life? I'm telling you, I was hooked from episode 1. This show is so well done, so put together. The payoff is instant. It's not like you gotta wait 5 episodes before you get your payoff. It is so well done from the beginning to the end, to the characters, to the acting. It's amazing. If I had to critique one thing, it would be the wigs. I'm not even gonna lie, the wigs is giving Tyler Perry wigs and everything, like, and maybe not as bad sometimes, but oh Lord, there's like invisible mesh wigs. There's like, no glueless wigs. There's beautiful wigs out there. What is the deal with the wigs? That is the only issue. But these women are beautiful. The smiles are beautiful. The language is beautiful. Let me tell you, they be doing these like the click. I don't know. I can't do it. I wish I could. And then the sucking the teeth. Like, it's so good. And the beautiful, beautiful smiles. They remind me of like the smile from the lead actor in Sarafina. That big, beautiful smile. Beautiful, beautiful characters. Oh my gosh. Let's get into this. I suggest watching this in its native tongue, Zulu. And they do speak Zulu and then English in some parts. But just turn on your English subtitles. Do not dub this. You'll thank me later. What is The Polygamist about? Social media darling Joyce is the picture of marital perfection until her cheating husband's conquests ignite a scandalous emotional meltdown. Now, here's your warning. If you haven't watched this show, then stop this video, go and watch the show, and then come back because this will contain heavy spoilers. The show starts off with Joyce, who is the main character, coming into a funeral home, and she is decked out in all white, head to toe, y'all. Okay, everybody else is in black. You would not think she's going to a funeral. Not any funeral that we do. We don't dare wear white to a funeral. But anyway, she walks into this funeral, and she has some kids with her. There's a bunch of people there mourning and crying. And she walks up to the casket, and her husband is in there, and his name is Jonas. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Jonas. She's telling him things could have worked out so much better for us, but no, you thought you knew better. And she calls him a motherfucker. Okay? Then she turns to the crowd, and she's like looking sad and mourning. And you're like, what in the hell did he do that she is walking into his funeral in all white and called him a motherfucker? The fake mourning had me cracking up. Okay, then the show does a whole rewind, and you see little images of things that this man done did and all, and it rewinds back to day one, to the beginning. 5 years earlier, to be exact. So Joyce is the face of Ivory Oasis Baths, and she's in a meeting, and they're telling her, like, listen, we only require you to have 2 posts per month. It's nothing hard to do. If you cannot stand up, if you cannot live up to this, then we're going to have to find a new face for our products. And it only requires you to have Mr. Gamora in one of the videos, like in one thing. Like, those are the requirements. They're basically like, it shouldn't be too hard, and if you can't come through, we're gonna have to get a new face. And she's making excuses for her husband, and she's saying, listen, he's very busy and he's been, away. And then the lady Trinity, she claims that, well, we've heard some rumors, and she's like, what rumors? My husband has never been happier. And in the cut scenes, as she's explaining to this lady that her marriage is happy, you could see Mr. Gamora is screwing someone. He is going in with someone. So Joyce is like, look, we're about to celebrate our 20th anniversary. We're going to have a party. I think that you should come. Trinity looks like she is not buying it, but she's like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, you can come and you'll see that we are happier than ever. So Joyce shows up to this house, and a female is standing outside, the female that her husband was just banging in the clips. And her name is Matipa. And she meets Joyce at the door, and she's like, listen, Joyce, I'm tired of you just showing up here like whenever you want to. And Joyce is like, listen, heifer, okay, you should have thought about that before you decided to open your legs to a married man. Okay, this is my house. I have the keys and I can do what I want. She calls her husband downstairs, and Genocide comes down and she's like, here, hands him an invite to their own 20th anniversary party. And she said, remember, you told me on our 20th anniversary that we were going to renew our vows. Here's the date and the time. I need you to be there. And he's like, you joking, right? Like, are you serious? And she's like, listen, all the relevant people have been invited. Your suit has been tailored. Everything is ready to go. And she's like, not only that, I also decided to invite your little cheap whore also. And Joyce, with all the class in the world, says, listen, I want you to taste a little bit of opulence, girl. Straight to her face, just like that. So he's kissing all over Maltipa, and he's telling her that she can go ahead in the house and, talking about her body now. She's a younger female. She's younger than Joyce and everything, but both are beautiful women. But listen, how rude is that? So he's like, are you serious? It's over. Like, you need to face those facts. We're not doing no renewal. And she's like, anyway, so I have your barber set and everything. Now, I don't know what barber he needs because he's completely bald. But I guess, but she's like, I got your barber set and everything, so you will be there. She's like, I worked too hard and everything, and to build this brand up, like, you're going to be there. So Joyce is choosing everything, like her dress and, the different place settings and all. And her mom is like, girl, are you sure you want to do this? And she's like, yeah, I'm sure. So, mama knows something. She's trying to convince not only her mama that she's sure, but herself, because she's looking like, yeah, I'm sure, but her face is not saying she's sure. So then we see Joyce, she's interacting with her social media and, people, she's asking, what do you guys want to see? Are you enjoying it? And, people are asking her things like, what's the key to a happy marriage? And this really rings home because nowadays, where you see so many couples that are showcasing social media and their content is all about how loving they are with each other, and it can all be smoke and mirrors. That's exactly what's going on here. She's like, oh, the key to a happy marriage, when you just got finished with your husband and his mistress and talking about we're going to renew our vows as he has another woman in one of y'all homes. So yeah, smoke and mirrors, fake. So don't believe everything that's on social media. I ain't got to tell you that. You should know that. So anyway, Joyce is like, it takes commitment. It takes love. We invite God to be a part of our family. And I'm like, what part of that says that you can have another woman in your bed? But okay, Joyce, okay. They're like, what can we expect during your 20th anniversary, child? Tell us. And she's like, Joyce Gamora extraordinaire, the lover of fine things. Like, girl. And isn't it funny? Like, I found that the last name Gamora, kind of like Sodom and Gomorrah. But anyway, that's what it put into my head, was that last name was Sodom and Gomorrah. So then we meet the children, which is Pume, the oldest daughter. Then we meet Minzy, her younger brother. And then we also are introduced to Lindani, which is like Pume's best friend, but she's kind of like a daughter to them. She's there all the time. And then they're on their way out to like a little club, a little dance. And her cousin, Sarah, is asking, to be picked up. And so she's talking to her mom. Her mom is like, you got to bring your brother. You know how moms do. You got to bring your brother with you or you can't go type thing because he ain't going to stay at home. So she's forced to take her brother out as well. And then she's asking if she asks Sarah, who is her cousin, she's like, did you ask her mom, can she go out with y'all? And she's like, that's not for me to do. She got to do it. And she's like, you know how strict she is. She was like, well, she's going to be blowing up my phone all afternoon if I don't. And so I don't need that. So basically, she's going to swing over there and pick up her cousin Sarah. And all four of them are going to go to this club. So it's important to note that Minzy has the hugest crush on Lindani. So Joyce opens up the mail that she had in her hand while she was talking to her daughter. And she sees that it is a divorce decree. Now she's expecting to have her anniversary and she's expecting to have, to renew her vows. And this like kind of takes the breath out of her. She's like so shocked. 20 years of marriage and you send me a divorce decree. She never thought that this was going to happen. So her mom sees her face, and she's like, what's going on? And she's like, he's asking for a divorce. And her mom is like, girl, he done moved out of this house a year ago. And you like, a year? A year, girl. Joyce, let me sit you down and talk to you. But anyway, he done moved out the house a year ago. She's like, you're going to have to let this man go. She's like, you cannot be surprised. And Joyce admits, she's like, no, like she's not surprised, but yet her face is very surprised. So then we meet Essie, who is Sarah's mom, and her son Freedom, who I love the name Freedom. It's so cute. And Freedom is like always drunk. Like he comes, the first thing when you see him on scene, he is coming out of the car, he is staggering drunk, and it's early in the daggone morning. Maybe it's not morning, but it's like afternoon. It's daylight. It's daylight. He shouldn't be drunk. Sarah comes out the house and she is dipped. She ready to go. And her mom's like, where you going? And she's like, well, I'm going out, to dance. And she's like, didn't I tell you to stop hanging out with these kids? They are not your type. But they're family. Like, that's her cousin. So why can't she hang out with them? Like, come on now. So she's just strict. She tells them that she can go, but she got to be back at a certain time. And Pumbay, she comes up, pulling up, saying, hey, listen, we're going to get her back here by 10, and she's going to be sober. Like, you ain't got to worry about it. So she tells them 9. And, child, you're not going with me if I got to bring you back home at 9. That's ain't no point in going. But it's daylight, so, hey, they got some hours to hang and have some fun. So Freedom over there, he trying to get the deets on where they going and everything, because his drunk behind plans on rolling through, and the girls are like, because Mizzy was about to tell him, and they're like, don't tell him nothing, like, he not about to come and crash our little party. So Joyce makes her way down to her husband's job, and she wants to discuss this divorce, and she meets his secretary on the way there, and the secretary is trying to get her not to go, because she's like, listen, look, he's about to be in a meeting, he's about to do this, and she slips that he's about to have this little celebration with the shareholders. So Joyce is just like, oh, okay, so I must have missed my invite. So she walks up in there and she's like, hello, what the hell is this with this divorce? Joyce is like, I'm not signing this. Like, you out your mind and everything. I'm not about to lose none of this stuff that I have helped you build. And he's like, I'm going to take care of you. And she's like, take care of me? How you going to take care of me? This taking care of me? Bye-bye. He said, I helped you build it in 20 years. 20 years, and I understand her frustration. 20 years, and she's like, you going to let this go for a little piece of ass? For some booty? Okay? She highly upset, and I'm upset with her. Janasi is like, you got to go. And she's like, I'm not going nowhere. So he's like, security? She's like, security? Okay, call security. And security comes, and he's like, about to say you got to go. She's like, you can shut up. She's like, all of y'all can stop. And she's like, points at just Janasi, and she's like, you're not going to just treat me like this. Like, you going to see. Like, you're not going to treat me like this. Joyce gathers what's left of her dignity, and she's like walking out, and he's got the nerve to pick up these divorce papers and say, hey, you're leaving something. She walks out without them divorce papers, like, boy, bye. And cuts to her in the car, and she is screaming her head off. She is like highly pissed, and I can understand the rage. Like, 20 years you dedicated to this man, and he decides that he's just going to try to make you lose it all because he found another side piece. Oh, hell no. We cut back to the party, and Landani is over there with her little boyfriend. So, yeah, she got a little boyfriend, and Minzy is just watching her, and they all having a little good time at this party. Pume is also at this party with her little boyfriend. Freedom comes, he shows up, and he talks his way into this club by saying, listen, yeah, I think that my girl is in there with somebody else and everything. Please, like, let me in. I need to go and see, whatever. Dude lets him in and everything. He makes his way into this club, and of course he is high strung and drunk. So Minzy is watching Lindani dance, and Freedom is just like, I know you like her and all, and he gives him this pill to kind of loosen him up, and I'm like, boy, don't take that's drugs, don't take that, and everything. He takes it so that he can loosen up and basically talk to her, even though she got a little boyfriend, like, so they ended up getting into like this little scuffle. This guy comes up to start dancing with Lindani. Now Lindani boyfriend had left the club, so this guy comes up there and he tries to dance with her. Dude getting all handsy with her, and she's pushing him off, like clearly not interested. So Minzy, because he done took this little pill, he feels like, he's superhuman, and he jumps over the thing and he goes and he handles the dude. So they end up getting kicked out of this club, And then Donnie actually, thanks Minzy for, being her Superman, and, kisses him on the cheek. And of course he's like, he just got done in with her. Like, he already in love, and that little kiss that sealed the deal, bruh. Them sees it, and of course he's like any bro code thing. He's just like, yeah, my boy, it's a kiss on the cheek, y'all. Calm down. So Joyce is sitting there wondering like what she gonna do, and Sophie calls and says, so is the party canceled? And she's like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I got a call that Mr. Gamora is going to be flying out, so is the party canceled? So she's like, you know what, let me call you back. So in the middle of the night, Joyce takes her behind over to his house, right? And she's like, Joe, calling him when she comes inside the house, and he upstairs getting it on in the bathtub. Okay, so she looks up and everything, and she notices that there's a painting that used to be up of her and him, and now it's been replaced, the same exact type of painting with him and this new chick. I mean, the same pose and everything. So she sees red. And she sees their passports on the table. She takes out these little decorations they have in this little wooden bowl. And I don't know why she would put this in this little wooden bowl, but she puts those passports right in this little bowl. Just like a little wooden plate at that. And she sets some joints on fire. So it starts to burn a little bit higher than she thought. And so she takes it and she like picks it up, but it gets higher, and she throws it onto the floor. And Lord, this girl done set the house on fire. They are up there screwing in the bathtub, and they have no clue that Joyce is downstairs in their house and done started a fire. So Joyce is like, oh shit. And she's like, So she don't go warn them. She takes her keys and she gets up out of there and leaves that house burning. And that's the end of episode 1. I'm going to go through each episode one at a time, all the way to all 22. It's just better to do it that way so that you can know who the characters are and I don't miss anything in the story. And if I go through all 22 episodes all in one video, it's going to be super, super long. So this is going to be episode 1. Let me tell y'all, I was instantly hooked because I'm like, Joyce, your problem. I said she left them people in there to burn now. Let me tell you, this made me press the next episode. But I'm going to talk about that in another video. My review of the first episode, I think they did a great job. I mean, from the opening scene to the end scene, it started off dramatic and ended dramatic. Like, what more could you ask for? You don't know if Joyce is just a woman scorned. You don't know if, I mean, you obviously know that he did something to really mess up this marriage, but the fact that she's trying to stay in it, you're like, what's wrong with her? Like, what the heck is the deal? Now I know that's your husband, you probably trying to fight for it and everything, but ain't no way he would have had his side chick in my home, at one of our homes, moved out with this side chick, and I'm talking about a renewal. It's not going to happen. So yeah, it's intriguing because you're like, what is going on with her? She's still putting on a show for social media, and it definitely shows you like the times that we're living in. Like, everything is, people live their life for entertainment of other people instead of living it for themselves. They want the fame, they want the money, they want to put on like a show and act like everything is great, everything is normal, and behind the scenes it's not. So this is why I say, do not sit there and look at other people's lives and be envious of it, because sometimes you do not know. It's smoke and mirrors, y'all. Smoke and mirrors. But yeah, I thought this was a great episode. So what do y'all think about this first episode? Do y'all think that y'all want to just go ahead and watch the series? But I'm going to be back with the next episode. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss when I do episode 2. You definitely want to be here for episode 2. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.